Hey, what's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully, you guys having a good one so far. Just going to briefly touch on, being yourself and why you should always be who you are. Um, First things first, live in alignment with your values and your beliefs, right? So, like, being yourself is really all about knowing what you believe in and the values that you live by. So, like, when you're not yourself, most likely you're going to take on the values and beliefs of other people. And that's where you're going to start, conforming to their expectations and way of thinking. And of course, when you know your values and why you do what you do, you know, you're going to live according to your own values and your beliefs. So just something to keep in mind, like when it comes to that. Um, Another thing is establishing your own identity. When you're able to have a solid foundation of just being yourself, you're really establishing your own sense of identity, right? So no matter what happens in your life, you're always going to know who you are. Now, yes, there's going to be times where you might feel lost or distracted, but as long as you have your own sense of identity, you'll be able to get back on the right path. And of course, without establishing that, you can easily conform and lose yourself. That's something you don't want to do. So just keep in mind, like, just trying to establish your identity and building courage. It takes an enormous amount of courage when you decide to, take the path that goes against everybody else, because these days everybody wants to follow the crowd, right? So, Um, but the reason why the majority of the people take that path is because it's easy. It's easy to just follow the crowd. But it's more of a challenge when you stay true to yourself and establish your own identity. Like, who wouldn't want that challenge? You know what I mean? That's actually a good challenge to me. So, you know, the challenge of just you always being you, it does take courage and strength. So, no matter what might come your way, you'll know how to handle it. So, just build courage. Always try to make an effort to. Establishing boundaries. That's a big one. Like when you're always yourself, you're gonna know what your limits are and what the boundaries are too that you have set for yourself. When people cross those boundaries, you're gonna know. But if you don't establish boundaries, people may very well walk all over you or even take advantage of you too. So if you're always yourself and you establish those boundaries, have them set in place, you know, then you're more likely to be aware of, like, when people start taking advantage of you. You'll be able to be like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? Pump the brakes on that, you know what I'm saying? So just try to create and establish, whatever boundaries you have. And last but not least, just try to find focus and direction. You know, of course, like when you're yourself, you're more likely to have focus and direction in your life. Like, think about somebody who's constantly conforming to like other people's expectations instead of their own. Like, do you think they're gonna have direction and focus and all of that? No, at least to me, no. So when you stay true to who you are, you're more likely to know the goals that you have set in place or that you want to accomplish, and you're gonna know how to go about accomplishing those things. So you're able to stay focused and know which direction to take, in order for you to accomplish that. So just do the best that you could to try to find direction and focus, because that's really important. So, but yeah, I just wanted to give my synopsis on just like being yourself. I feel like it's really important. Each thing that I mentioned, tried to break it down as best as I could. And you know when it comes to being yourself, man, like, there's going to be pressure from the outside world as it tries to influence like who you are. So living in a society that's constantly changing, developing, growing, whatever, it's important to always be you from the inside out. And it's like when you really know yourself and those boundaries that you set, you're more likely to experience like a better life. I'll say. And of course, like without knowing yourself and you're not establishing those boundaries, you're most likely going to get pushed around. So it's like you have the option to, taking the path that's either broad or narrow. You can either conform to what life wants you to be, or just have the courage to remain true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a challenge, a good one, I would say, to have a strong sense of yourself, when you're constantly getting distracted and influenced by really the outside world, so to speak. That includes like social media, just life in general. So, but if you want to be able to reach your, fullest potential, it all starts with you being you. Don't try to be like anybody else. But with that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to another video. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Please hit the like on your way out. I would greatly appreciate that. And as always, continue to stay safe, stay hydrated, and monitor your health, and continue to be blessed and encouraged. All right, y'all take care and have a good one.